Are you ready to begin with the thing that you don't know what is about to happen?
I guess so, yeah.
All right, here we go. Welcome into today's video. This is something a little special. I have something special planned. This is Father Anthony Sciarappa, who's, you're a typical co-host. You were the co-host of like this week's show. Yes. And then I texted you and I said, I don't care if you did an episode already this week. I have a video that I need to do with you specifically. So what have I told you about this?
Something, it's like takes 20 minutes, some sort of compliment / roast.
Yep.
That's about all you told me. It was very vague. In fact, you said I'm making this vague on purpose, is what you said?
Yeah, I put it in parentheses, and I'm being intentionally vague because the whole thing that we're going to do, the one thing that you did, you have all the information correct. You just worded it improperly. You said that it was going to involve compliments and also a roast.
Yes.
This is going to be a roast that might involve compliments.
Okay.
And the person that we are roasting is you. So before I give any setup to this whatsoever, I'm just going to go ahead and I worked really hard on this, on getting this all set up so that we can do this. I have my iPad here that is going to screen share, and you'll be able to see it. The viewers will be able to see it. Can you tell me what that is?
Oh, that is Mass.
It is Mass.
That's not any Mass.
Not just any Mass. That's correct.
That's the 8 o'clock Sunday Mass in my parish that I believe I had this week.
You sure did. You sure did. So without any further ado, let's just go ahead and hit play on this.
Know what I did.
Okay, so before we even get started, it was at this moment. Here's the thing. If you listened to this last week's show, I haven't talked too publicly about it, but I finally talked about it on this week's show, so I'll share it here. We've had some difficulties with our local priests over the last few years. So a priest that was kind of rude to everyone and mean to everybody, and then he left, and we got this great young pastor, and then he decided to sleep with a teacher and got removed from the pastorship. So this is all crazy. Like, it's just been a crazy 3 weeks. If you've been listening to the show the last few weeks, you know that it's been a crazy few weeks. And have I told you what my Lenten promise was? Like what I was going to do for Lent?
You did not.
I was going to start going to Mass every Sunday.
Right. You did say that, but it was such a thing that, yes, okay, I remember that.
Right. Well, because of COVID, there's like, you don't have to go to Mass anymore. We're like, okay, and then like Mass has just been difficult for years for plenitude of reasons. But, when they keep firing priests for different reasons, it's just been difficult. So after the week that we had of, priests being fired, and then the winter storms and all these things, I was like, to heck with it. I'm canceling Lent. No Lent for Taylor this year.
Sure. Yes.
But then I was like, you know what? My wife she's a really good Catholic. She's been watching Mass online, but not at our local parish anymore because of reasons. So you shared a link to this. This is your fault. You shared a link to this with us, and she started watching your parish masses, and I still didn't care. So I still wasn't going, but Lent started, and I was like, well, it's the first Sunday of Lent. So let's get started with this. So I sat down on my brand new TV where you and I used to play video games. I sat down, I cooked a pizza, I got my ice cream, and then I sat down in my chair and I was prepared for Mass. Because I don't have to, there's no Eucharistic fast because I'm not getting the Eucharist. So it was my first time to ever eat pizza during Mass and then wash it down with some ice cream. So that was fun. That's what I'm doing during this. It was at this moment right here that two things happened. One, my wife looked at me and she says, he looks like a wrestler. and like, you love wrestling, you love watching dudes touch each other in tights for some reason. And like you do, you look big, you've been working out, you got this crazy hair. So what do you think about my wife calling you a wrestler at your Mass?
That's cool. I'll take that.
Yeah. Here's what I said. You and I have talked, and like just being young and in ministry, which both of us are the same age. Right? We are old to some people, but like when it comes to ministry, everybody there is 8,000 years old. Yes. So it can be hard to get respect whenever you're a young youth minister, pastor, or a priest, whatever. Right?
Sure. Sure.
And like I've made fun of you like for your hair on the podcast. Like you look ridiculous. You look homeless with a collar, like, you know.
Yes.
And it was at this moment that I realized that you don't get any respect, because I never realized that the same hair you have on my stupid show is the same hair you have at the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass. True. You look ridiculous at like the highest thing that you do.
Yeah, this is true.
So if you would like to get some respect, trim your hair. Okay.
My mother was at this Mass.
What, she?
And after Mass, she got very serious and said, "You need to cut your hair."
So maybe this is providence. Like everybody in your life, my wife, myself, your mom, like you don't have a wife. Like we are the most important people in your life. Like Nick's probably said it too. If Nick's like, it's time to cut the hair. Like if you want some respect at all, I might give you a little, but other people might give you a lot more if you just look like a put together human being.
Okay.
But when it comes to respect, we gotta keep going. We gotta play a little bit more of this.
Alone and fasting Moses.
Okay. How do you like our cantor?
Tremendous.
He's one of my favorites.
I forgot to ground rule you this. The only ground rule was the only thing we're making fun of in this Mass is you.
Okay.
I'm not touching the rest of your parents. But I did notice that at this point and at the gospel, you took off your mask to kiss the book. Like, isn't that counterintuitive?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with the mask. It just, I mean, that's just what I do. I take it off to kiss the altar and to kiss the gospel.
Well, good for you. Just
who cares? That's what I do.
I won't breathe on anyone, but I'll put my mouth on this book that other people touch.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, but this is the best part. It's my favorite part. You know what's coming.
I do.
Wait, before we get to what's coming, no, we just gotta play it. We just gotta. Here you go.
With your spirit.
Wait. Here we go. Here it is. The song's over.
The Lord be with you. And with your spirit. That's not how we start Mass. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Lord be.
Would you like to talk about this?
I don't know. It was 8:00, and I was thinking about my homily because I said I preached the night before. I didn't like it, so maybe that was in my head. I was a little bit annoyed with the branches sticking up over the altar. And I was like, I guess I was just distracted. And then as I was saying, the Lord be with you, I was like, wait a second. It felt wrong as I was saying it. And then I realized, no, that I started Mass wrong. So whatever. I've made mistakes like that before. Just roll with it.
It was like the one compliment. It's not the compliment that I'm going to give you for this little Mass thing that I watched. You just rolled with it. Like you just kind of smiled and laughed. You're like, whatever. Like, it's 8:00 in the morning. You stayed up late playing video games. I don't know how I know that. But like, it's 8:00.
Yeah.
You made a mistake and you just owned it and you kept going. And to be fair to you, I haven't been to Mass in so long. I didn't even notice it was wrong till you pointed it out.
Nobody noticed it was wrong. Everyone just responded. Everybody in the entire church. You can't hear them because they're not, mic'd. But everyone just said the proper response, even though I said the wrong thing.
Here's what I need you to do next Sunday. Just start your Mass, walk up the same way you just did, and just start by saying, lift up your hearts. And I guarantee you 90% of the people will say, we lift them up to the Lord.
I really want to try that, but it seems inappropriate to purposefully mess with my people at the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass.
I mean, it was inappropriate to mess it up here too, but it was an accident.
I mean, intention matters a little bit on this, Taylor.
Sure. It was very funny. The other thing that I'm going to ask, I'm going to play just a few more seconds. Like that's like we lost it. We had to pause Mass, which is a thing you can't usually do. We lost it. My wife and I, this is the time where like we're usually like watching TV. Like it's the 1 hour a day we have together where we're like, we got the kids to sleep. I'm eating pizza. She just finished working out, like the important things for both of us. Yeah. And We got the kids to sleep, everything. We're ready. And we're watching this mass. And she's going to watch the whole thing. I'm committed to watch through the homily because I don't think there's any point in liturgy of the Eucharist when I'm not there. Other people can do your spiritual communion. That's fine. Just doesn't work for me. So this is what we're doing. And we're usually watching funny shows. We just didn't realize this was going to be a funny show.
There you go.
All right. I'm going to play a few more just to kind of let you hear my next question for you. Okay.
With you. Brothers and sisters, let us first call to mind our sins and so prepare ourselves to celebrate the sacred mysteries.
All right. We've talked before about church voice.
Yeah.
Your voice at this mass is way deeper than your voice right now on this little video and every time we've been on the show. So I have one of two questions.
Mm-hmm.
Is this your church voice, as in you're intentionally trying to be deeper, to sound a little more holy, a little more resonant in this beautiful big church you have? Or is it 8 a.m. and you didn't sleep much?
It's a little bit of both. Now, I don't try to have a church voice, but it's just something that happens. Sometimes I become aware of it. I think I have a little bit. It depends on how. Sometimes I have it when I'm preaching. Sometimes I go in and out of it. It's one of those weird things that it just happens. A lot of times when speakers speak, they have like a speaker voice or a speaker intonation as well. So
Alice Sullivan.
I don't do it on purpose, but I'm vaguely aware of it. Also, in the morning, a lot of times, all I've had is coffee, and so not very hydrated.
Yeah,
a little scratchier of a voice.
Well, I loved it. And here's the thing. Here's the compliment part. The compliment part is that, like I shared at the beginning, like mass has just been difficult recently, especially at my home parish. Like it's just been hard. So the compliment is, I would not, like I chose this Lenten penance, and then our president got fired, and then our priest got fired, and then Texas got canceled by the winter storm.
The president of your school, you mean?
Yeah. The president of the United States didn't get fired because he wasn't impeached, but he had already been fired because he lost the election. I didn't understand the impeachment, but whatever. That's not the point of this. The point of this was I've just lost faith in so much of our church, right?
Yeah.
Like I still have faith in God, and I still believe in God, and I still believe in Catholicism. But I've lost a lot of faith in the Catholic Church as an institution over the last few years. And even more over the last 3 weeks. Like, it's just heightened, right? Like I go through these seasons where it's I'm frustrated. Then it's okay, things are okay. Like this is real bad, the last few weeks. But I've given up on my Lenten sacrifice. And I was like, you know what? There's one priest that I trust still. Let me go to his mass at 8 a.m. And so the first compliment is I like you, and I think you're good at your job. I mean, obviously not certain parts of it, but like starting mass, but you got better as it went along. But here's I don't know which is going to be more awkward for you. When I didn't tell you about any of this. I just straight up roasted you for how you started mass at 8 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. I don't know if that's going to be more awkward or my compliment. The first, I counted it the other day. I think it's the first, I was right. The first 11 words of your homily, which by the way, you said in this video that your homily the night before was bad. You told me Saturday night that it's the worst homily you've given in years. You hated it. You were rambling. You were all over the place. And we bonded over that because I had a really similar experience. Both of us are usually good at the talky talk, but over the last, year, we've both had our worst talk in years, right? Yeah. And yours just happened to be the night before where essentially you had to get up and give the same talk again the next morning, which I don't usually have to do. I get to give a different one.
Yeah.
And you said these 11 words. It is the Spirit that leads us out into the desert. And on the podcast, I've made fun of you before for repeating things over and over again at the beginning of your homilies. This one was really good. And it's what I needed to hear, and I almost broke down in tears.
Ooh.
Because I have felt Lent aside. Lent has, like you said in your homily, we're in the 53rd week of Lent 2020. We've been in Lent for forever. There's been no ordinary time. It's been unprecedented time for 53 weeks. And I've just felt like I've been in the desert for so long, and I felt like the Lord abandoned me. And then you're like, it is not just that. I felt two things. Like, one, God is with me in the desert, which I haven't felt in a long time. Or like, and it's like, what does he say? Intellectually, I've heard it. I've heard people say it. Yeah. I know it to be true, but just in the last year, it's been like, I don't know. I don't know about that. And then not only is he with me in the desert, but that he's in control still, which is like a joke on Twitter. Like, God is in control. Like, no one's felt like they've been in control of anything for the last year. And you said it multiple times. I'm just like, stop, I'm going to cry. And it was very good. So I think part of it was just like being able, like, it's the first time I've gone to mass with you, which was like, why have I not done this? It's been 3 years. But I don't know. It was just providential and like timely to one, like go to a mass where literally the first thing I did was laugh at you. It's tremendous. That's not how mass starts. Like, this is your job. This is the primary thing you're supposed to do. But then your homily, I expected it to be bad because you told me it was going to be, and then it was really good, and I appreciated it.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. I felt much better about the morning one. I'm like, oh, good. That's what I tried to say last night, but failed. So I'm glad that worked out. And you know what? This is absolutely true. After that mass, I was like, Taylor would really enjoy that. I should send him the link to the opening part of my mass. But after mass, I took a nap, so I forgot about it. So as soon as you pulled up that 8 a.m. video, I was like, oh, he knows.
I do know. I have my ways, man. I have my ways. So this was fun. I really appreciate you spending a little extra time with us this week.
No problem.
For the sole purpose of me roasting you.
Yeah, that was something.
I like, what's crazy is like, I've never done like shown a live video on Zoom. I spent like an hour and a half yesterday just getting this to where it could technically work.
Yes.
And I'm so happy I did, because that's the most fun I've had in weeks.
Good. I'm glad.
Well, thanks. I hope that you guys enjoyed this as much as I did, and that it was a little pleasant surprise. Like watching mass was a pleasant surprise for me, and like telling Anthony in front of all of you that I know was a lot of fun for both of us. So if you liked the video, subscribe. If you haven't watched this week's show, you could make fun of me because I may or may not have run from the cops, hypothetically. I think it's the best segment we've done in a year. It was so much fun. The final segment of the third of this week's show. You can check it out. There's all the links up here. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Anthony, were you like, you had no expectations for what this was going to be? Was it better or worse? Was it better or worse than you thought it was going to be?
It was as silly as I thought it was going to be. So about on the money. Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad we have enough trust in each other to be like, hey, can I come make fun of you for the internet? Thanks. All right. Well, I said I'd keep it 20 minutes, and I think we're at that. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back next week with the show and some other extra videos. You guys can always check it out. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We love you. And what'd you say to me? Anthony, I love you. Yes, quite. Which means you're the new Han Solo. You didn't answer I love you with I love you. Instead of saying I know, you were like, yes, quite. Okay, bye! Fun. It made me so happy.